2011 and attended basic combat training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. Starting 13 June 2011, he attended Chemical Operations Specialist Advanced Individual Training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Beginning 12 July 2012, he was assigned to the 320th Chemical Company in Fort Totten, New York, and the 411th Chemical Company in Edison, New Jersey. In 2018, he transitioned to active duty, attending M1 Armor Crewman AIT at Fort Benning, Georgia. Following AIT, Sergeant Engracia was assigned to Fort Bliss, Texas, where he served as a tank crewman in Delta Company, 2nd Battalion, 13th Armored Regiment. While there, he deployed overseas to the Republic of Korea. He later transferred to serve as an M1 gunner as part of the 4th Battalion, 78th Armored Regiment. Sergeant Engracia's military awards and decorations include the Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal, Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, Korean Defense Service Medal, Non-Commissioned Officer Professional Development Ribbon, Army Service Ribbon, and Overseas Service Ribbon. Sergeant Engracia is survived by his mother, Clarelisa Baculio, his stepfather, Percival Baculio, and two brothers, Paul Engracia and Brian Engracia. Ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to follow along with today's program as printed in your bulletin. The commander of 4th Battalion, 70th Armored Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Ethan A. Overton.
To Brandon's wonderful family and friends, the Iron Soldiers, to Thunderbolt Warriors, to Beast Company, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today as we celebrate Sergeant Engracia's life. It's my honor today to stand in front of all of you as we memorialize Brandon. And I was fortunate to serve with him as we fought the Denovians together in the deserts of Fort Irwin only 2 short months ago. He served as my tank gunner, and he was incredibly proficient and knowledgeable. Today, I'd like to share a couple of stories I have that I think capture Brandon's tactical and technical skill, discipline, and outright love for the United States Army and serving as a soldier. Prior to the rotation, I was short a tank gunner, as Staff Sergeant Santoyo was off to Master Gunner School. We searched the battalion, and Brandon's name was at the top of a very short list. He was dependable, knowledgeable, and tenacious. I knew Brandon as he served as my Tank Table 5 Vehicle Crew Evaluator, or VCE, out of Range 83 in July. To this day, I can still remember the look of disappointment on his face as we reviewed the tape of the commander's engagement, where he asked, and he stood with his hands like this, "Sir, what was going through your mind at this time?" I felt as though I let him down and didn't want to do that again. Without hesitation, I knew that I wanted Brandon to serve as Thunderbolt 6 Golf. I'd like to take all you ladies and gentlemen back to the first battle period at the National Training Center. Do you remember the scorching heat? It felt as though you were frying in the turret. Brandon never complained, never. He was always up to the task. After we moved through Red Lake Pass and started to attack north, Beast and Atlas companies made great progress, bounding across the desert. Well, it came time for the old Headquarters 6-6 track to move to the Flot and make a commander's assessment. Well, truth be told, I just wanted to get my tank in the fight. We moved up on a hilltop and I scanned from the turret to find 2 enemy tanks at about 1,500 meters. The yelling started with the fire command. Brandon swung the turret and blasted at the enemy. We saw the miles lights go off and celebrated. Brandon, in such excitement, used expletives, and I didn't even know he could get that animated. I just loved it. I loved it. Following that engagement, we moved up another hill and destroyed another enemy BIMP at about 50 meters. It was way too close, and Brandon was yelling at me to give him the right direction. It was crazy, but it was awesome all at the same time. After repositioning for the next mission, I met the tank to provide instructions to Brandon and the crew, at the time, Private First Classes Green in Jackson. And I saw Brandon was cupping his hands in an attempt to conceal something. I asked, "What are you doing?" He paused and looked anxious, and I asked him, "Are you smoking a pipe?" He seemed embarrassed, but I laughed, and I told him, "Just don't smoke in the turret. Don't smoke in the turret." A couple of days later, the Thunderbolts executed a rapid movement from live fire through ammo download, blank upload, to occupy an advantageous piece of terrain to meet an enemy counterattack. We just destroyed them. We destroyed them, period. And my track was not at the FLOT, but Brandon absolutely helped identify enemy targets and enemy smoke missions. At one point, nature called, I couldn't hold it any longer, and I had to hop off the tank in the middle of the battle. I told Brandon that if anybody called in the brigade net, just answer and take the message. And Brandon said to me, "No problem, sir. No problem, sir. Just go do your business, sir. I've got you. I've got you." And I knew that he did. And I never questioned Brandon's devotion, discipline, or expertise. There was no one better to serve as my gunner in that position. Brandon set the example for the entire tank crew and headquarters section. He always prepared and only needed simple guidance. And I was looking forward to him progressing in the armored force. I was jealous of his next unit, for I knew the caliber of soldier that they would receive. I was so impressed with Brandon. On the day he passed away, I signed his leave form. In the remarks section, I wrote, "Outstanding soldier, he will be missed." I insert remarks for award paperwork, but this was the only time that I penned something on his PCS or something on a PCS leave form in the remarks section. He made that much of an impact on me. I honestly didn't want him to PCS. I didn't want him to leave. I don't think any of us did. Maybe if I called him or searched him out after signing that leave form, he'd still be here. To Brandon's family and friends, please know you raised an incredible son that I'm so very thankful to have known. Brandon embodied the principles of a warrior. He was a guardian of freedom and the American way of life, and he was a soldier, plain and simple. He decided to volunteer and to unselfishly leave his home and toe the line and say to the citizens of this nation, "Send me, I'll go." I will always remember Brandon as my aggressive tank gunner in the deserts of border with that armor warrior. And I'm very thankful that I have those memories. He positively affected so many people, and because of that, he will live on within us forever. Iron soldiers, ready first, strike swiftly.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of Beast Company, Captain Graham Forsman.